important to use and develop tools of knowledge brokerage. So these are tools, these can be people, these can be methods, this can be processes in which you are connecting information and data of different nature, which also means that there are different owners of this information and this data who are also participating in projects very differently. So as I see to really integrate natural conditions into cities, where most people, most professionals consider them as lost, and it's important to look at it differently and also to cooperate in a different way. So to share information that maybe usually is not shared in an early stage of a project. And putting people together in a room is not enough. It's not, when you say dialogue, I think dialogue should be made really specific. So in our research, which is action research, and also in education, we put people with different backgrounds together, and we give them instruments and guidelines to communicate. There are two crucial things in this communication. One is that you really know who you have in front of you. So what is this knowledge of this person, of this professional? And what are they talking about? What are their concepts? They maybe have a different language. All these aspects are very important for interdisciplinary design. And another aspect is also to put a score, as in music basically, on the resolution of information. The difficulties of involving communities in decision making is that, as far as I'm concerned, and specifically for the Netherlands, I think we have a change from a welfare state to a participation state. This is a political change. And the participation state is about the bottom-up approach, so involving people and money bottom-up into urban development. So, and involving the community in the Netherlands has been organized since in the past century. So the participation is an important part of the development process. And this is very much connected also to the design process in the Netherlands, where we put forth designs that are not meant to be the final, but are meant to be debatable, to be discussed. And they're open for alterations of the community. So there is what we call inspraak, where we, in the process, it is defined when the community needs to give their feedback on a project proposal. I think the research question that comes out of this, and this in this sense surface design, is quite interesting, because the question is who in the end is responsible. The interesting I find of nature-based solutions that it is adopted as if it's a solution for a problem, while for me nature is already there. It's not a solution, it's the beginning basically. And in the cities it's an important perspective that the nature is also still there, while a lot of people of course consider it as wiped away. If you look at soil scientists and their maps, the soil in the city is white because it's ruined by humans and it's not there anymore. And this is something I really try to change in my work, in the sense that you should have the perspective that the nature is still there and should, given the chance, also be enabled again to help us in fighting things like climate change and support energy transition, etc. And it's also a matter of really taking advantage in small places. So one of my big examples is right in front of my house, which is a small strip of land. And this strip of land has been forgotten for decades because it was unclear to the municipality that it was theirs, and of course the railway company knew it was not theirs. And what you see, that because there was no maintenance, that nature was thriving. It was being itself, and it was not kept, it was not cut, it was not harvested, etc. And this is interesting because this very small strip of land has a real big effect. When you walk there, it feels like you're in a forest. I always show the picture to my students, where are you? In a forest. And then you're basically in a strip of land which is not more than 5 meters wide. So the importance of recognizing nature in its smallest form can be fruitful in the largest scale. This project, it was forgotten. There was it's a long strip, and part of this strip were tennis courts for the people in the neighborhood. Then the railway company used these tennis courts for a concrete factory to build a flyover for a new fast train line. And after they left the community, and these were a few people who are working in architecture, nature, sustainable development industries, they really saw this strip of land as a good community space, and they basically opened this space so you can walk now, because you couldn't enter before. So they opened it so that you can walk along the water through this forest on the one hand, and then another part is where this where the tennis court and the concrete factory was. They changed this into community gardens. So it is a Versailles design of small gardens where the schools and people in the neighborhood they grow their vegetables there and flowers. And they also have a social program, so they have a lot of people coming, because there's also a small house. They have a lot of program for people who are mentally disabled, for migrant projects. There's this community dinner every other 2 weeks. And also everybody in the neighborhood can use it to have barbecues or their parties. So it is in that sense open to everybody. The next question is this public space? And it's not public space because it's not following the rules of public space. If the municipality would really come with their rules of public space, then a lot of things are unsafe and need to be changed. So what you see is that the regulation of this natural area does not meet the standard, and if it would have been kept by the municipality, it would have never been like this. So there you see that there needs to really be a change in somehow regulating this cooperation between private partners and the municipality, in which I feel that the municipality should really be a facilitator of these spaces, give people the chance to develop it, and instead of saying, listen, what you've done does not meet our requirements, sorry, they should change the requirements that are set by the municipality itself.